Hi, I'm Yukino. Before we talk about prices, rules, or collecting, there is one question we must answer first. Why does a real sword still matter today? For most people, the answer is simple. A sword is a weapon. That idea is not stupid, but it is incomplete. If a sword were only a weapon, it would have disappeared long ago. Weapons exist for war. When war ends, weapons lose their purpose. But Japanese swords did not disappear. They were preserved, repaired, and passed down. That fact alone tells us something important. A real sword is not just steel. It is a series of decisions. The swordsmith chose how to forge it. The owner chose how to use it, or not use it. Later generations chose to preserve it. Every real sword is a record of human judgment. This is why replicas feel empty. They may look correct. They may even be expensive. But they carry no decisions, no responsibility, no history. They are objects without weight. Beginners often ask, what should I buy first? That is the wrong question. The right question is, what kind of value do I want to understand? If you understand why real swords matter, everything else becomes clear. Here is a simple test. Stand in front of a real sword. Do not touch it. Do not judge it. Just stay silent for 10 seconds. If you feel nothing, you are simply not ready yet. In the next part, we will break the biggest misunderstanding of all. The idea that a katana is a weapon. Once you let go of that idea, your entire perspective will change. In the last episode, we asked why real swords still matter. Now, We must remove the biggest misunderstanding of all. A katana is not a weapon. For many people, this statement feels wrong. Swords were used to kill. History proves that. But history also shows something else. If killing were the main purpose, the katana would not look the way it does. A weapon is designed for efficiency, maximum damage, minimum effort. A katana is inefficient. By that standard, its shape, balance, and finesse reflect intention, not speed of killing. True weapons disappear when they are no longer needed. They rust. They are melted down. They are forgotten. Japanese swords were not treated that way. They were respected even in peace. Owning a real sword is not about power. It is about responsibility. That is why careless people feel uncomfortable around real swords. They sense the weight, even if they cannot explain it. Movies teach us that swords are exciting weapons. Fast, loud, violent. Real swords teach the opposite. They demand calm, control, and awareness. Once you stop seeing the katana as a weapon, you are ready for the next step. In the next part, we will talk about what beginners misunderstand the most. Most beginners fail, not because they lack passion, but because they start with the wrong assumptions. Let's talk about those misunderstandings. The first misunderstanding is simple. Expensive means valuable. In the world of real swords, this is often wrong. Price is what someone asks. Value is what remains. When emotion fades, beginners often chase perfection. No rust, no flaws, no age. But age is not damage. Wear is not failure. In many cases, those marks are the story. Famous names feel safe. They feel reassuring. But a name does not swing a sword. Steel does. Some unsigned blades outperform signed ones in every way. Decoration attracts beginners. Gold, carving, complexity. But excess often hides weakness. True confidence in a sword does not need decoration. Beginners believe knowledge comes first, but judgment comes first. You can memorize facts forever and still make bad decisions. Understanding grows from experience, not the other way around. These mistakes are not embarrassing. They are natural. Everyone makes them. The problem is not ignorance. The problem is staying comfortable with it. Once you see these misunderstandings clearly, price starts to lose its power over you. In the next part, we will talk about real value and fake value. Price and value are often confused. Today, we separate them because confusing these two is how most people lose money. And judgment. Price is a moment. It reflects demand, fear, fashion, and sometimes ignorance. Price moves quickly. It reacts. Value does not. High prices feel safe. They tell us someone else already decided. This is good. But safety is not value. It is borrowed confidence. Fake value appears when price pretends to be meaning. Marketing replaces history. Polish replaces substance. Everything looks impressive until you look closely. I want to share something personal here. There was a time when I bought a real Japanese sword that had almost no value. It was not fake. It was not cheap. But it had been repaired badly. Too much polish. Careless work. At first, I didn't see it. The price convinced me. Later, I understood. What I bought was not history. It was damage pretending to be value. Real value survives careful hands. It can endure age, but not carelessness. When value is gone, no price can bring it back. This is why beginners must learn this early. You can recover from overpaying. You cannot recover lost value. Mistakes are allowed, but blind trust in price is dangerous. Once you understand real value, your connection to swords deepens. In the next part, we will talk about the emotional weight a sword carries. If swords were only objects, they would not move us this deeply. But they do. Today, we talk about why. You cannot explain everything with logic. Some reactions happen before words appear. A real sword often creates that reaction. Beginners often fear emotion. They think it clouds judgment. But emotion is not weakness. Uncontrolled emotion is a trained response. Starts with feeling, not denial. Some weight cannot be measured. Not in grams. Not in money. It is the weight of time, choices, and restraint. This reaction crosses cultures. You do not need to know Japanese history to feel it. The sword communicates without language. When emotion is missing, something feels wrong. Everything may look perfect, but nothing feels real. That absence is information. Learning to trust this feeling takes time. But once you do, your mistakes become smaller, not fewer, but smaller. When you understand the emotional weight of a sword. Collecting is no longer about ownership. In the next part, we will talk about how this changes the way you collect. Once your view of swords changes, collecting can never be the same. This is where everything comes together. Most people think collecting is about owning, but real collecting is about understanding. Ownership ends at the shelf. Understanding continues. At first, you ask, how much is it? Later, you ask, why does it exist? That change marks a real collector. As your view matures, you need fewer swords. Not because you lost interest, but because each one means more. Even experienced collectors make mistakes. The difference is not perfection. It is awareness. You recover faster, and you learn deeper. Trends lose power when you know what you are looking at. You stop chasing what everyone else wants. You start choosing what speaks to you. Real confidence is quiet. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to rush. You know when to wait. A real sword does not ask to be owned. It asks to be understood. If this series changed the way you see, then this sword has already done its job. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. It truly helps and motivates me. And if there's a topic you'd like me to cover next? Please, feel free to leave your request in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas.